Hello, Internet. The stories we tell ourselves about our lives shape our lives. We can't actually change our past, but we can change what it means. What does that mean? Well, first, let me welcome you to the Empirical Sword. I'm Lord Master DLC79, and I believe school doesn't teach, meaning we have to be the masters of our education. In other words, we have to take charge of this whole education thing and learning thing ourselves, and to teach ourselves the things that school should teach, but isn't, which is what this series is all about. So, how do we change what our past means? Well, the thing is, we're a species of storytellers. We relate events, ideas, thoughts, and even our own emotions in the form of stories. You ever have one of those friends? I mean, right there. You ever have one of those friends who starts a conversation with, you ever have a time when, or, last time I was at that place, or last night I was so, we tell stories. We tell stories to convey emotions and thoughts and ideas. Most people just convey emotions or sensory experience, but, some of us are weird. We like to communicate thoughts. But we also tell ourselves stories, but not necessarily, in the same format. We don't sit ourselves down and hey, remember the time when? We don't do that. But whenever we recall an event, we tell ourselves stories about how we should feel about it, or what we should believe is going on. And in some cases, we should feel bad about some of the events that happen. Some events are actually quite traumatic, and no sane person should feel good about them. I'm not saying that, but there seems to be this trend developing in modern society, and I think a lot of it has to do with the media. There seems to be this prevalence of a victimization mentality. People want to portray themselves as being the victim of something. Like they're being held down by something, or somebody's holding them back, or you just can't win these days. Some sort of the world is doing things to me, and I can't control it. And, I feel bad about that. And the truth is, the world does what the world does. It's not out to get anybody in particular. It's the world doing world stuff. As eloquently as that is a description of what's happening, we have a tendency to invent these stories that portrays us as a victim of circumstance or society or the government, or something is inflicting harm upon us and we can't control it. But the truth is, we can control it, and the control begins in how we think about it. Think about Batman. Little Bruce Wayne, as a child, seeing his parents murdered in front of him, a senseless and heartless crime. I mean, if anybody has the right, and I know this is a fictional character, I know this, just go with me, okay? If anybody has a right to be, oh, why me? I'm such a victim, Bruce Wayne. Is that how his story developed? No. His story has him developing into a person who chooses a mission, a somewhat irrational mission of destroying all crime, but it's a mission. It's a purpose in life. It's a goal. It is something to focus all of his energy onto. And ultimately, that's kind of what we all need. Some sort of purpose that we can focus our lives into. Otherwise, we're just kind of sitting around letting life happen to us like victims. If your story is that life happens to you, you're victimizing yourself. And you're the only one turning yourself into a victim. No one else is doing it for you. Or we can choose a purpose where we are happening to life. And I know that the irony there is we're kind of turning life into the victim, and it's just, don't worry about that. Life can handle it. The point is, life is going to throw you obstacles, and a lot of them are going to be unpleasant. But you control the stories that you tell yourself about what those obstacles mean. What kind of stories are you telling yourself? What role do you play in the stories that you tell to yourself? Are you the victim or are you the hero?